Hello, this is Yankee Sensei again, and today I would like to introduce the game Hangman as an ESL group activity for school-aged children. Many of you played the game Hangman and may think, oh, I know how to do this. I've played this as a kid many times. Well, it's a little different for ESL students. Some students don't know the full names of the alphabet, let alone what they look like, which can make this game very challenging. But having said that, I've used this game for years and most students really enjoy it. For busy teachers, this is a great activity because you just need a whiteboard, a marker, and a simple ABC alphabet sheet and some vocabulary words or phrases that you want to review. So let's get right into it. Okay, I would first draw the hangman stand, which looks like this. Basically like this. And then I would draw the amount of lines on the board corresponding to the number of letters in the word. So I'm going to use the word sandwich in my example here. So I'm going to draw 8 lines. And then sometimes actually I would draw the numbers underneath here so the kids know how many letters are in the word. So I'm just going to put this under here. So it's going to be 8 letters to this word. Now they don't see the word sandwich, but I'm just going to write here. This is the word we're using. I would never write this on the board, but you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's important to get that right. Sometimes I'd make a mistake and put 7 lines and it's an 8-letter word. You don't want to do that. So you just want to make sure that it's 8 letters. In my case, I use a textbook. So I would tell the students the word is in their textbook from pages 100 to 103. And I would write that at the top of the whiteboard. Usually the students never look in the back of their textbook where the vocabulary list is, so this is a chance for them to get used to looking there. If you do not have a vocabulary list in the back of your book, well, you can choose words from the unit that the students are studying from. So I would take this off and I would put, let's say, Unit 7, and then I may put the pages, let's say page 50 to 55, like this. And if you don't have a textbook, just review the vocabulary you've been teaching them. So we would just take all this out right here. Okay, back to the game. Okay, let's get back to the game. The students now would have to guess a letter, and if you let them, they would just shout out letters. A, B, C, G, F. I don't want them shouting out letters. I would have them take turns and give me one letter at a time, and it has to start with, is there a? I'm just going to write it here. Is there a? And then the letter would go here. So, for example, is there a B? Is there a K? Is there an L? Is there an M? Okay, let's erase this phrase because this wouldn't be on the board. So, let's do an example. If the student said, is there a D? I would write the letter, first of all, D on the board, like this. And my answer would always be yes, there is, or no, there isn't. So in this case, I would say yes, there is, because there is a D in sandwich. So I'd put the D right here. Now, if the next student said, is there a K? Again, I would put the K, and usually at the top of the board. This board is not that big here. And then in this case, I would say, no, there isn't. And when that happens, I'd start singing, dun, 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 dun. While I draw the first body part, I would do a little frowny face like this, go like this, and then I may draw some tears, go, oh, no, like this, and draw some tears just like this. Then the students would continue to give me one letter at a time. And in the letter if is not in the word, I would keep adding a body part. So let's just erase some of this right here. Okay, let's put this over here. Let's say there's one D there. So they have up to 6 mistakes because the stick figure I draw at least has 6 parts. And we have the head, and then we have the body, and then I give it 2 arms, 1, 2, and then 2 legs just like this. So 6 mistakes they can make before they lose the game. Most of the time, though, they would identify the word before I get to the last body part, and some may even shout the word. For example, sandwich, sandwich. But I would remind them that they still have to give me all the letters to complete the word in order to win. Now, why do they have to give me all the letters to complete the game? Because some kids are faster than others and may guess the word quickly. I want all the kids to participate and find the word we're looking for. This is a good chance for the students that know the word to help the ones that have not found it yet. I play this game as a cooperative game. The whole group wins or the whole group loses, so I encourage the children to help each other throughout the game. Okay, so when I get to the last body part, I'm going to take away that last leg. When I get to the last body part, then I would give them some hints because I do want the group to win and I want them to help each other. So I may tell them, for example, the exact page number, or I may say, it's yummy and I eat it for lunch while gesturing I'm eating a sandwich in this case. Well, there you have it. That is the way the game is played. For those of you who may think this game is kind of gruesome because literally it means hanging someone from a pole by their neck until they die, well, the kids don't see it that way. They just know that when the last body part is drawn, the game ends there. Now, for the teachers, I have 4 points. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that you need an ABC chart. There are kids who don't know the English alphabet well enough to see it in their head, and some are very shy as well. I would use this so those students could point to the letter instead. If the student points to the letter Q, I would then say Q and have the student repeat that. Then I would encourage the student to say, is there a Q? Of course, I don't need to use this chart with all the students, but it's a good reference for those who need that little extra help. This is a sample of the ABC chart that I use in my classroom. I just found it online. It's free. You can just go to worksheetfun.com. If you don't have access to a printer, or if you just want to do it yourself, you can just write ABC and all the way to Z on a piece of paper, and that'll work just as fine. If you're wondering why I have them say, is there a, instead of just saying the letter, it's because I want them at the very least to learn the phrase. I always want my students to learn phrases when we play games. One of the points of this game is to make the students more aware of how the words are spelled, so if you don't use a book, then it might be helpful to have a vocabulary list for the students. I recommend a picture of the word and then the spelling underneath it. I mentioned earlier in the video that when the student guesses a letter, I would first write the letter on the whiteboard to confirm the letter that he or she said. That's important because sometimes you may hear a B, but the student is actually saying V. This game tends to get everyone involved and excited, so I strategically play this game at the end of the lesson to finish the class with a bang. Well, that is all for this activity, but if you have any questions or feedback, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like and subscribe because I'll be making at least one video a week with more easy and fun teaching ideas that you could use in your classroom. Goodbye for now.